Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your nerdy friends of 14 here. Welcome you guys back to another Iruna Online video. And today, we're going to be upping the Boogala to max. So without further ado, let's get this started. Alrighty, so Boogala is a triple damage chance by attack throwing weapon that's dropped by a Shulk at the Reaper's Forest innermost area outside of Mayos Village. Its initial stats are crit rate plus 20, hate rise minus 15%, ASPD plus 30%, critical damage plus 12%, as well as, the triple damage chance by chance of attack stat. Boogala has one upgradable form, that is Boogala Mark II, so in order to get this upgrade, you're going to need to get yourself a TP from Iruna Castle, then bring along the following materials: 1 Boogala from Shulk, 8 Fimble Sands from Fimble at the Abyss of Mirror, deepest part outside of Rectove, 10 Raptor Claws from Demo Owls at the Waffle Tower, 2nd floor outside of Iruna Castle, 30 odd-shaped horns from Rig Rams at the Tolbus Green District outside of Kraya City, and 500k spinner to make the upgrade. Now I'm going to go ahead and send you guys over to Live Talker so we can get you guys through the damage test as well as the upgrading process. Alrighty guys, so we made it on over to the Iruna Castle blacksmith. Now we're going to go ahead and make the upgrade for Boogala Mark II. So we're going to go ahead and talk to the blacksmith, go into strength and equipment, and we're going to find Boogala Mark II really quickly for the one time. If I can find it, try to hurry this along as quickly as I can so we can get to those beautiful stats. And I think Boogala is all the way at the last, the second to last page. Yeah, Boogala is right here, right next to Harika. So we need 8 Fimble Sands, Raptor Claws, and odd-shaped horns, as well as the 500k spinner that I all mentioned earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and click next, click strengthen, yes, and then once we skip that, there we go. We have Boogala Mark II. Now let's go ahead and take a good look at the stats. So we went from having a base attack of 272, because your boy actually paid attention to the base attack that I had this time. We went from having a base attack of 272 to 295. So that is a really huge increase in my base attack, almost a base attack of 300, which is 5 points off. I believe we had the defense of 5 and it goes over to 9 now, which is good, but since I'm a ninja and I rely on clones and evasion for survivability, having defense on my throwing weapon really doesn't matter at all. But going to the stats, our ASPD remained the same at ASPD plus 30%. Our hate rise actually rose from negative 15% to negative 20%, which is a 5% increase, which is really good for, being in parties and having my hate rise not so quickly when I'm fighting in parties, just in case if I want somebody else in the party to be the tank and not me. This negative hate rise definitely helps me in terms of not being aggroed as much or as quickly. Going on over to the crit rate stat, the crit rate stat remained the same at crit rate plus 20, but our critical damage did increase from critical damage plus 12% to critical damage plus 13. From critical damage plus 12% to critical damage to plus 15%. So we went for a plus 3% increase in our critical damage, which is really good for this throwing weapon. That means this is one of my best throwing weapons in terms of critical damage, because this the Jaeger knife has 10%. I believe Starboast doesn't have any. This has small crit up by my agility, and I don't think the rest of my throwing weapons has crit on it. So Boogala right now is one of the best throwing weapons that I have in terms of critical damage, as well as I still have the triple damage chance by chance of attack, which is really good for the Boogala throwing weapon. That means that not only my Dancer clones will have a chance to proc triple damage chance, but whatever other skills I decide to use, whether it be probably Makabishi, I think the status, the triple damage by chance of attack status effect will go on over to Makabishi, I'm not for sure. But I know it definitely goes on to my attack into my Dancer clones. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go and switch on over to other live talkers so we can get you guys through the damage test. So see you guys then. Alrighty guys, so we're going to go ahead and do the live damage test for the Boogala Mark II throwing weapon. So the test area I decided to pick out was the area right outside of Yolu Village. Basically, this is one of the main MQ areas that people has to come to whenever you need to farm pearls to complete the Grappa Girls quest. So I decided to pick this area because I know the mobs here are fairly relatively easy to kill. Doesn't take much hard work and effort. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the normal attack damage with the Boogala Mark II claw as well. I mean, throwing weapon, not claw, as well as the Dancer Clone damage. Now, as far as the base attack goes, or the base damage goes for the normal attack, we seem to be getting about a 6k base, 6.5k base, up to about 10k when we proc the triple damage chance passive that is on the throwing weapon. Oh boy, hold on, I'm wearing Disaster Stone and I've completely forgot till now, so if I don't be careful I will kill myself because of the fact that Disaster Stone takes HP because it has recoil on it, and recoil is not good, like I told you guys in one of the previous videos that I made. But as far as melee damage goes to the Gold Rockers, I deal about 5k base. I couldn't really see how much I could do at max because I don't think I proc the triple damage chance by chance of attack, but when I do proc that, I will go over that Carfax real quick if I can proc it. Yeah, there we go. So I just procced it, so 10k. So roughly, as far as the damage goes, like normal damage wise, for me, your damage may vary depending on what type of equipment and stuff that you wear, but for me personally, since I am wearing sort of like lower level gear and stuff like that, my damage is kind of like on the low end of the spectrum. As y'all can see from my base attack is only 2005. If I switch to Disaster Stone, I wasn't wearing Disaster Stone, I was wearing Altica Ring. If I use Disaster Stone, I have 2.1, but if I use Altica Ring, I'll only have 2000, pretty much even base damage for the Boogala Claw. So pretty much my lowest amount of damage that I deal with normal attack on this, not claw, on this throwing weapon is about 5k, and my maximum damage is 10k when I proc the triple damage chance by chance of attack. As far as my Dancer Clones damage goes, I only got 5 clones up right now, but I deal about 36k roughly, which is almost enough to one-shot these Mars 6, but not quite enough, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly clone to 9 really fast, and then we're gonna see how much damage I deal with 9 clone Dancer Clones damage with Altica Ring equipped instead of Disaster Stone, because I don't want to kill myself in case I decide to normal attack, which I know 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna try to do just in case the mob doesn't die. So we're gonna go ahead and slap this Marsik with Dancer Clones, and what do you know, we one-shot it. We did about 60k, so I'm gonna say that's our lowest amount of damage that we can deal with 9 clone Dancer Clones. I know that is really low in comparison to other ninjas, like I said before. Still working on my ninja in terms of getting her equipment and stuff like that. So of course she is not going to be as powerful as other ninjas are, but she still does a lot of damage for what it's worth, and it seems to be like her lowest amount of damage that she can deal with Dancer Clones, 9 clones with Boogala Mark II is about 60k to these mobs, and the highest is looking at about 66k. Now as far as these Gold Rockers go, I'm going to check now, because of these Gold Rockers I believe they have more defense than the Marsiks. I might deal lower Dancer Clones damage. Yeah, I'm dealing lower Dancer Clones damage, so I went from doing 60k average to about 48k, almost 50k roughly. So like I said before, it's still pretty good damage for what it's worth. It seems to be like my highest damage is about 52k. I believe that was the triple damage chance procking right there, which gave me that 52k damage. Let's see it again. So, okay, so it seemed to proc again, so we got another 52k for 9 clones. So let's see if we can get one more damage number in. Alright, so 47. So with heavy armored, well, not heavy armored because this isn't Warframe, so with high defense style mobs, I seem to deal about roughly a lower damage spectrum around 40k to 50k maximum for 9 clone Dancer Clones, and when I'm fighting mobs that has pretty much no defense like these Marsiks here, I seem to be dealing about normal Dancer Clones damage from around 60k to 65 seems to be my max, and my base attack for these guys is about 6k up to 10k, and then for mobs with, you know, a little bit more higher defense, which is the Gold Rockers, I seem to deal about between like 4k, 5k up to 10k critical damage, which is still pretty good. It's just like a 1k damage you know, difference, but it's still pretty good. I love Boogala Mark II. The stats on this weapon is really great. The base attack is really great on this thing. I so wish I had better equipment so I can really use this thing to its fullest potential, but I'll get there eventually. I'll probably use this weapon on my assassin maybe once or twice just for shits and gigs, just to see how much damage it deals on my assassin, because of course assassins deal way more damage than ninjas at end game. Ninjas do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but assassins do deal a lot more. But I cannot wait to test it on my assassin just to see how much damage I deal on my assassin, and then of course give it back to my ninja, because Boogala is one of the weapons that I wanted for my ninja, not for my assassin. But without further ado, guys, it's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. So I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I got to all my little charmanders out there, keep spreading the fire and the love, and I'll see all you guys in the next stream and or video. Peace out for now.